Do, 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 do. I love being recorded when nobody's here. I can just mute my mic. I forgot. Welcome back to another episode of Popcorn Politics. I know we just did a review of Zack Snyder's Justice League on the live podcast, but we have a new interesting perspective that I wanted to bring. Daniel Lewis Crumpton joins me to review the movie. Daniel, how are you?
Guess what I'm eating? Guess what I'm eating?
I don't know, but I know you're drinking coffee.
Drinking coffee. Yeah. Guess what I'm eating?
I don't know.
Popcorn.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I got some of those Orville Red Blockers. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever eaten popcorn on an episode of Popcorn Politics. That's
You hypocrite.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah, I know. I actually have a bag of Orville Redenbacher's avocado with sea salt mini bags.
Ooh.
Yes.
How fancy.
Quite tasty.
Avocado.
Avocado oil with sea salt also. So, yes. All right, man. What are we doing tonight?
Well, you have just watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I know you have thoughts, but I don't know what any of them are because you're being a sneaky bitch and hiding them until we're on air.
Dude, man, I just want to, keep all of it contained until we got, the red light running.
We got the red light running. Hit me.
Oh, Snyder's Justice League. All right, so let me first get all of my biases and prejudices out of the way. First.
Enjoy.
Okay, so before we really get into the meat of it, I'm more of a Marvel guy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Always been more of a Marvel guy. I don't slight DC. I love DC Comics. I love select DC Comics because from my point of view, DC is kind of the generic Marvel in my point of view. All right. It just comes off a little generic to me. So that being said, like I love Batman. I love Batman. I love Detective Comics. But I like Batman alone. Like I don't like my DC characters hanging out. You know what I mean? For me, it just doesn't work because Batman the whole idea of Batman is he's a human being for one that dresses up like a bat and beats the living snot out of criminals every night. It's more visceral, it's more dark, it's more gritty. And then you have bubblegum Superman, who can fly and he can, you could shoot him with a Uzi and the bullets just bounce off of him, but if you throw a pistol at him, he dodges it, which is weird. I've always wondered what that was. You know what I mean? Like he's bulletproof, but if you throw something at him, he ducks. It's like, why would you do that, dude? Anyway, and I don't really care for Wonder Woman that much, because it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't. Aquaman to me, he's just the B version of Submariner. You know what I'm saying? So let me get those prejudices out of the way. The other prejudices that I have is, sorry guys, Marvel got to it first with the whole bringing all the heroes together thing. Now, I don't really know. You can Google it real quick. I don't know if Justice League was published first or if Avengers was published first. To me, it really doesn't matter. What matters to me is that for me, Avengers is just the way that Marvel brings their heroes together is so much more fluid and so much more believable than the way Justice League or DC Comics or the DCU does theirs. I mean, to me, a lot of the Justice League movies, or all the movies that they were trying to do like Marvel, I mean they were Johnny Come Latelys, and it just to me it automatically I go, oh, I love that when it was in Avengers. Like for example, the Mother Boxes. I like those when they were called Infinity Stones or Dark Side. Yeah, that's cool. I like that when he was called Thanos. These cockroach-looking things that were in Justice League is like, yeah, it was cool. It's cool when Joss Whedon did that with the Chitauri. Okay, you know what I mean? So so I want to put those biases out there first, and just go, look, DC, if you really want to, I mean, if you want to make me happy, do stuff like you did with the Joker. Make standalone movies where they're not fraternizing. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm-hmm.
that's just me.
Mm.
Okay. Never,
Yes.
nevertheless, having swept all that to the side, I shall give my best honest review of what I thought about Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for one thing, I love Joss Whedon. I have loved his like when he came out with not Uncanny X-Men. He came out with oh crap, what was that series called? Astonishing X-Men. He did Astonishing X-Men about a decade ago, and that was just the best series ever. Joss Whedon has this magical ability to take all these big characters, like in the X-Men or like with Avengers, and make them all work and make them all shine like
Mm-hmm.
he did in Avengers. So a part of me is like, when I saw Justice League, his version, I was like, did Marvel send him over to DC just to sabotage their stuff? Because typically I will watch a movie, especially a superhero movie, over and over and over and over again. But I almost shut off Justice League the first time I saw it, from Joss Whedon's version, because it was like that bad to me. So I almost think he was deliberately trying to mess up the DCU, right? Did you get
Yeah.
that?
Well, okay. You want to know why Joss Whedon's version was so bad?
Sure.
So Zack Snyder was taken off the project in July of 29, I think in May of 2019 or 2017, sorry. Joss Whedon was brought in July of 2017 and told, okay, you need to reshoot this to the tune of $100 million.
Hmm.
It has to be exactly 2 hours. It has to be funnier, and it has to be done by November 2017. You have to do this in 4 months.
Oh, okay. So he was really under the gun.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I get it. I
Yeah.
mean, all right.
Joss Whedon had an impossible task. I don't like how his Justice League turned out, but I don't really blame it on him.
Well, I mean, and that's the same thing with Suicide Squad and Jared Leto. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but we've talked about that a lot. So yeah, I get it. I get it now. So the good news, I mean, the good thing is that I only watched that version once.
Same.
So coming into this one, and I watched it like when it first came out. So it's like
Hmm.
the only thing I really remember about his version was okay, there was some guy sent by Darkseid to come and get these boxes, but
The boxes.
the boxes, what's in the box? It's going to the Paltrow's head, by the way, just so you guys know, it's going to the Paltrow's head. Uh, where was I going with that? That's the only thing I remember. Is these three boxes, which were i.e., Infinity Stones minus a few,
Hmm.
basically. I mean, really, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They could have done better with that. Come on, man. And and they really didn't have to try to catch up to Marvel with a Thanos type villain like Darkseid. We didn't need all that, you know. But that's just me. Could have been a terrestrial challenge that these guys had to face. Now, it's already at a disadvantage in my book because I didn't really care. I love Batman versus Superman with the exception of you didn't have to bring in Doomsday.
No, no, that was unnecessary. I get what Snyder was trying to do, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, and basically that was like a reincarnated Zod, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you could have killed Superman, which I get that's what you were wanting to do. You could have killed Superman with Batman.
Yeah, but he wanted to do it. He wanted to do the death of Superman just like it was in the comics.
Well, he didn't, though.
No, he didn't. But that was his goal.
Well, I
Didn't
think
work.
that for me, that's what killed it. That's what killed Batman versus Superman was bringing in Doomsday. You didn't have to do all that. Kill him a different way, man. It's all
And
right.
I know your feelings on Man of Steel because you did the review with me.
Oh, yeah, Man of Steel was fantastic. I loved it. That's actually I didn't really care for Superman until Man of Steel came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what kind of got me into Superman actually, because I always thought Superman was like, well, he's invincible. What kind of I mean, and his arch nemesis is a real estate mogul. You know, but Man of Steel, yeah, turned me on to Superman a little bit. But Okay, so all those biases being put to the side, this is a long movie, dude.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Mm,
glad that he put it in parts.
yeah.
So, I
Well,
had to go
even
ahead.
if this came out in theaters at 4 hours, there was a planned intermission at the 3 hour mark.
Oh, well, that's good. I wish they would release it in theater. That would have been cool to see it in theaters, but
They're going to be releasing it in theaters from what I understand. They're going to be releasing it in the fall.
well, crap. Now I've already seen it on a smaller screen, so well, they're not getting my $20 for that.
Well, they're supposedly going to be releasing Man of Steel as well, so they'll get my $20
Oh, now I might do that.
to see Man of Steel, BVS, and the Snyder Cut in theaters. Yeah, you might get my $20.
Nah, they might do that. HBO Max got my 15, so anyway. That being said, so I went into this, being open and loving Zack Snyder anyway. I love the way he does his cinematography. So, but the first thing that really stuck out to me that I thought was a major, major improvement, because for me it's important, is the score.
Oh yeah. Well, for what we talked about this on the other review, Danny Elfman is a great composer, but
Yes.
but his fatal flaw in the theatrical cut was that he thought that superhero themes should carry over from previous incarnations. He used he used the 1970s Superman theme in the theatrical cut, which doesn't work for this Superman. Zack Snyder brings in his usual composer, Junkie XL, and we get a continuation of the same themes that were used in BVS and Man of Steel.
Yeah, because I thought the score for Man of Steel was, I mean, I love that score. And me with music, I love music.
Mm.
I write to music whenever I'm going to write something. Typically, it doesn't have lyrics unless it's like an action sequence or something. So I'm very keen. I have a very keen ear when it comes to movie scores. I don't even remember any lick from the previous score at all.
The the only thing I can remember from the Justice League score is actually one thing I wish they kept in, and it was the opening scene, which was a montage of the aftermath of the death of Superman, set to the song "Everybody Knows." And I thought it was actually a really good sequence. It's the only good score in the theatrical cut.
I'd have to go back and check it, but no, for me that was the first thing that stood out to go. Okay, well this is clearly Zack Snyder is taking this way more seriously because from what I do remember of the last experience with music, it was more like, hopping and skipping and bunnies and teddy bears. It sounded that way. This
Hmm.
had a more foreboding, dramatic, epic type score to it that was subtle when it needed to be, but it lifted when it needed to. It's like with the Man of Steel thing, which I think is excellent. So when that always cues up, dude, that just lights me up when that theme cues from Man of Steel.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll get to it, but there's a scene that I desperately want to talk about with you.
I know
Um,
you do, and I know what it is.
I know you do.
I know what it is. I'm excited about that too. But no, I mean, the score was the first thing. The cinematography was epic. I mean, the whole opening sequence with the Superman scream at his death. You know me, and we've talked about it. And of course, this will tie into the scene we're wanting to talk about. But Superman is supposed to be the Messiah. He was, the character was created by two Jewish guys, and they sat down to conceptualize what a modern day Messiah, well, modern day when they created him, what a modern day Messiah would be like. And they were like, well, one, he'd be an alien, and two, he would have these abilities, right?
Hmm.
So, you know, so the whole death of Superman scene with the scream going around the world is kind of like the Bible whenever he's crucified and there's an eclipse and an earthquake that goes around worldwide. So it was like, okay, there's your Jesus with an S and clean shaven with no CGI mustache removed.
Hmm.
So the scream at the beginning was awesome. It was epic because, I mean, Justice League without Superman. I mean, basically with the mythos, you and I were talking on a different podcast about how Snyder views them as the Olympians, the old gods, to a degree. I, you know, but I look through things through a messianic type view, and I go, Well, the other Justice League members who are individual and have certain different abilities, which are all kind of like Superman has all of them, but these other Justice League members
Mhm.
have individual abilities. So it's like, oh, this is very New Testament-ish, because that's exactly what happened after the resurrection. Is the Christians or little Christ or little superheroes get abilities, different abilities after Christ is resurrected. So it's like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the scream at the beginning, I thought the visual and the what they were trying to get, I think it went a little too long, just slightly.
A
Could have
little
been
bit, but
a little too long.
I'm going to let Snyder indulge since this is his extended cut. He, I will allow his indulgences.
Yeah, yeah, but it was a little bit like the Star Trek the motion picture when it's like 20 minutes of camera pans around the USS Enterprise, and you're like, we get it, she's sexy, okay, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like she's a hot looking ship, okay. Jeez, can we just go into space now?
Yeah, or
Anyway,
like Blade Runner 2049. I love that movie, but all of the cinematography is okay. We got it. The snow
yeah,
is pretty.
yeah, I know. It's like,
Y-
okay.
Yes, we know you're stroking yourself to the shot.
Right. So I mean, where do we want to go from there? Because I mean, we're talking about a 4 or 5 hour movie. So
Uh,
where do you
do
want to
you,
go with it?
do you want to just go to what we both want to talk about?
Sure. So you had said, now let me make sure I got it right too. So you said last time we had spoken, there was one Superman scene that was going to make me geek out, right?
Yes.
Let me see if I'm right. Because
Uh-huh.
I did geek out on this scene. Is whenever after he gets his black suit, he goes up into space and stretches his arms out in the form of a cross with the sun in front of him looking over his world.
See, that is one. So I count that sequence as. No, sorry. I count that whole sequence alongside him walking through the Fortress of Solitude, with the monologue from Jor-El and
Yeah,
from Pa Kent, and then him getting the black suit and going up into space. I count that as one sequence,
right, right. Yeah, that whole sequence. And
and that whole sequence is probably my favorite scene in the movie.
yeah, I'm probably going to have to agree with you for me too, because I know for Man of Steel, like one of the biggest draws for me was him having a heavenly father and him having an earthly father, which smacks of the Messiah. I mean, you got.
And
Go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry, go no, go ahead.
I mean, so it's like it's a direct parallel from the New Testament, and all. I took my mom to go see Man of Steel, so a lot of the stuff that Clark Kent's dad, earthly dad, said to him, it echoed very much some things that my dad's told me before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So
symbolically, here's what I appreciated, just going movie by movie. Man of Steel was all about the conflict between the two fathers. Batman versus Superman was all about Jor-El having sort of won out the debate. Clark reveals himself and he dies. And
mhm,
then this movie, the monologue especially, the melding of his two fathers'
mhm,
messages,
mhm.
the unification of their ideas for how Clark should behave, it's the completion of Superman's arc. This is the Superman that people are familiar with in the comics. He has completed his evolution.
Yeah, because in Man of Steel, he was split between who he was going to be. Was he going to be just Clark Kent from the farm, or was he going to be this Messiah type figure? You
Hmm.
know, and that struggle, I guess, led up to his death. But in this one, yeah, you have the amalgamation of the two different philosophies that they're not really opposed. I mean, it's just you have to mix them like DNA for you to
Yeah,
get Superman. You know.
yeah, and it was great just the monologue over it and how their messages contrast at the beginning, and as he gets closer to the black suit, they stop contradicting each other, and then they start filling in each other's sentences.
Yeah, and I guess they had to record extra audio I mean, I know some of it was taken from Man of Steel, but I
Hmm.
think they had to record some extra audio.
Yeah, I think they did as well, but it's and then yes, him. Uh, uh, the minute I saw him extend his arms and look over the planet, I thought, God, Daniel's gonna love this.
Oh, I did. I love imagery of the Christ art type
Hmm.
because I mean, well, for one, especially with his dad's talking in and his heavenly father, whenever he shot him off into space in the sperm spaceship, it was sperm. Go back and watch it. It was
It
sperm.
was. It was
Yeah,
sperm.
it was coming out of a phallus. Come on, man,
It
getting
was.
obvious, guys.
Yeah. It was sperm.
Yeah. And so, his mom is all like, they'll kill him and what's his dad's name? Jarrell, right?
Hmm.
Jarrell's like, how can they? He'll be a god to them. And so then you have his earthly father, which keeps him humble. So it's like it does smack of Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. When
Hmm.
you when you do have great abilities, um, the temptation to abuse those abilities is overwhelming, and it takes. I mean, you have to stay humble and be in humility when you are gifted with extraordinary abilities. And Superman he's like the role model for that. Whereas, I mean, he's an all-American guy. He's truth, justice, and the American way. He's always been that. You know what I mean? So it's like he
Hmm.
had to have that balance between a heavenly father who's like he'll be a god, and then an earthly father is like, but what are you gonna do as a god? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So any type of imagery when they use it, and I know some people who are like, oh, it's blasphemous, people who are just really dogmatic. It's like, I don't think that. I think that it just anything to remind you of this figure, regardless of if you believe he was historical or not, it doesn't matter. Even if the biblical text or any scripture is not historically true, it doesn't mean that the books are not true. Okay, the whole point of those books is the idea of redemption and salvation and letting go of mistakes and things like that. That's the whole purpose of the archetype of the symbol of a Christ figure anyway. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I know in my life I have done a lot of horrible things. Oh, wretched man that I am, that I regret and can't change. So, the idea of being forgiven or being redeemed from your past and your past mistakes is very palatable to me. And I don't understand how it's not palatable to some people. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I did geek out. I geeked out at the whole sequence from the ship to the suits to the monologue to him finally embracing his role as the protector of this planet.
I had no doubt when I saw that scene. I thought, okay, if Daniel watches this and doesn't geek out, I might just have to quit podcasting.
Totally
Like,
geeked out. It's a good thing I live alone. it,
like
re-
I,
it really is.
look, okay, I have problems with this movie, but the two elements in particular that I think were vastly improved were the portrayal of Superman, which we've talked about, and the portrayal of Cyborg.
I don't care for Cyborg. I'm sorry. It just he's to me. I mean, even in this version, even though they did a really good character development with him, much better than Whedon's, he comes off as a generic Iron Man to me. I'm
I
sorry.
I can understand. I do think he was much more well developed here.
Yeah, they did a better job, but you're still trying to, put perfume on feces, in my opinion, because it's just like, no, that's cool when Iron Man did it. Just saying.
Yeah,
So,
Wonder Woman, she's fine. Wasn't great in the movie. Steppenwolf is better, but still generic.
Steppenwolf Jesus, I totally messed that up. Steppenwolf was a lot better from what I remember the first version.
Well, the first version, he had no motivation. He was just sort of there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I remember.
There was one mention of Darkseid in the original cut.
I don't remember even seeing him in the last cut.
We didn't.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there was
But
one mention, a muttered line where Steppenwolf says, "For Darkseid."
no, okay. Well, I mean, even though they did better with his character in this one, he looked a lot cooler from memory.
Hmm.
I'm still turned off by his name because it just reminds me of like an '80s hair heavy metal band, Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf is a band. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, it's like every time they said his name, I just picture like D. Snyder with makeup on his face and crinkly hair, with an electric guitar. It's like Steppenwolf. I don't even know what they sing, but anyway, I digress. No, Wonder Woman. I thought she was, it wasn't her movie, man, but I thought she did great. She's bad, dude.
No.
God, she was bad in this one, bud.
Yeah. Now, what do you think of Batman? Because I know how you feel about Batman. I know you like him alone, like you said. What did you think?
And this is the reason I like Batman alone. Is now I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
I think
If I,
he's great.
if I could get more Ben Affleck as Batman, dude, in a Batman movie, you know, even though I'm looking forward to Robert Pattinson, but I like Ben Affleck as Batman. But this is the reason why I don't like DC's characters interacting is because the entire movie, he's almost okay. He's the guy that's gonna put the team together, right? He's gonna put the team together, all right? I'm
Hmm.
Batman. I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm Batman, and I put a team together. But what did just completely deflates Batman, in my view, is when the Flash or Barry Allen goes, "So what is your superpower?" It's like, well, what can he say amongst metahumans?
I'm
There's only,
rich.
"I'm rich." Now it's a good line, and I loved it the first time, and I loved it this time. I'm rich, but it's like, oh, wait a minute. You got a guy who can break the light barrier. You got a chick who's basically invincible and immortal. You got this other dude who's like God of Atlantis. You got this other dude who's generic knockoff Tony Stark, and Batman is, he's a guy who dresses up like
See, I think Batman is much more the Tony Stark of this series than Cyborg.
I think he is. No, no, no,
I
no, no.
think
I think
if
yeah.
Cyborg is anyone, I would say Cyborg is more
Well,
analogous to Vision.
maybe. Now, yeah, he's definitely the Tony Stark, which is he's just a human with a bit,
And
who's
he's a
hyper
human who
intelligent.
puts the team together.
Sure, but it's like it's almost like I mean, he's just a guy. He doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just a guy.
He's just a guy, and it felt that way to me. It's like, and what made it even worse is like when Superman shows up. Now Batman is just really completely useless to the Justice League, but but they still have to put him right beside Superman. But it's like, dude, Batman, we really don't need you. We got Superman back, so thanks for putting the team together. You can go back to the Wayne Manor and play whatever polo or whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah,
felt that way, because
I can appreciate that.
while while all these other guys are doing fantastical things like racing around the city and jumping up and defying gravity and, summoning mermaids and stuff like that, Batman is just like he's in a car. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can drive and I can shoot. And evidently, Batman's code of not killing doesn't apply to extraterrestrials because he did a lot of
Well,
killing.
yes. Well, I think the no kill rule was kind of abandoned in BVS.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty sure he killed some of them dudes in that warehouse.
oh, well, he shot people with machine guns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
He blew up buildings. Like Batman and BVS killed a lot of people. The point of BVS, though, which is I have some problems with this movie, and the portrayal of Batman is one of them.
mhm.
The point of BVS was for Batman's arc was that he should bring back the no killing rule. That him killing set him down this path, and then he just starts killing aliens. And oh, I mean, okay, if you want to say okay, but they're not humans, yeah, okay,
Well,
that's weak, but I'll accept it. But that's
I mean, I can understand it in this context because what's he going to do? Put some bat cuffs on him and take him to Commissioner Gordon and be like, put him in Arkham.
he's gonna have parademon repellent.
Yeah, bat alien repellent in his utility belt like the shark spray, for God's sake.
Yeah, he's gonna shock Steppenwolf and put him unconscious and throw him in jail.
Yeah. And well, another thing is like, okay, I get it. The mother boxes, for example, the mother boxes are supposed to be some ancient technology that almost looks like sorcery, Infinity Stones. And you put them together, and it does What exactly? I was never really quite
It
clear
opens
on it.
it opens the portal to allow Darkseid to arrive.
Oh, he couldn't just come to Earth like
And
Steppenwolf did.
but it also what it also does is sort of reshapes the matter on the earth and turns it into that fire-like landscape. It's basically there to turn Earth into the equivalent of Darkseid's planet.
Oh,
A pop.
kind of like what they're doing with chemtrails right now on our planet, making the environment a little bit different for extraterrestrials to be more conducive in our environment. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Well, I don't know
Some,
about that, but
something to think about, Dylan. Something to think about.
alrighty.
All right, so you got these mother boxes. They came to conquer Earth because, however long ago, thousands of years ago, when the old gods and the old heroes came together as an army and fought them. And then, like, Darkseid got his panties in a wad because he got a little bloody, and then he left and left the boxes.
Yes, he left the boxes behind. It seemed like it was a very rushed retreat. He got his arm chopped. Well, he didn't get his arm chopped off, but it looked like he was pretty close to getting his arm chopped off. And it seems like they just grabbed him and took him without getting an order to retreat.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, they left the mother. I guess the thought was they leave the mother boxes behind and it lets them come back
yeah.
because it
Well,
opens the portal.
and the other thing that I kind of snickered at is whenever they were explaining that the mother box that I think America had or the humans had came from the Nazis, and I was like, that was cool when Red Skull did that with the Tesseract. I mean, and
Well,
Red
everything goes
Skull,
back to the Nazis at some point.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, and even in that, it was also a cube. Just saying, it's kind of cool when Red Skull did that, guys. So.
Uh, we will be right back, but in the meantime, here's a word from our sponsors.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at Cannasense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's Cannasense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. Cannasense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. Cannasense.com. Cannasense is common sense.
Guys, don't forget, Cannasense Total Wellness now has opened their doors to recreational users in all 50 states. All you have to do is go to Cannasense.com, click on Become a Member, click on Recreational. There will be a sponsorship form. Just put in Daniel Lewis Crumpton or Zen in the Car in those first two fields, upload an ID, and give us a little bit of time to validate you in. You get access to our apothecary. You can order your cannabis straight from your phone or your smart device, and that's how it works. So that being said, Dylan, let's do this movie thing.
All right. So we are still discussing Zack Snyder's Justice League. Um, yes, we've reviewed it once for 2 hours already, but Daniel wanted to discuss a few things. We discussed the Man of Steel moment. We've discussed the portrayal of Batman. I think the only other thing that I find controversial is the wrong word, but interesting to debate is the portrayal of the Flash. Um,
Mm.
because I am one of those rare
Quicksilver.
weird. I'm one of those rare weirdos who actually really liked the portrayal of Flash in Joss Whedon's Justice League. I I think it could have been handled a little bit better, but I liked his story of sort of the inept superhero who learns, and I liked his whole dynamic with Batman and the just save one person moment being fulfilled by saving the family of Ukrainians. I thought that was really cool. Here, he doesn't have any of that. He's a very static character who gets a very big moment at the end. He saves the entire world by traveling back in time just a few seconds and stopping Steppenwolf. Um, I still prefer Joss Whedon's portrayal of Flash. I don't know. Am I crazy?
Well, like I said, regardless of which characters in between DC and Marvel were first, I always look at if DC has a character such as the Flash or Aquaman. I always go, oh, it's cool when Marvel did it with the Submariner and Quicksilver. You know what I mean?
You might be the only person on Earth who recognizes Submariner as, or thinks that Aquaman is the lesser Submariner instead of the other way around.
Dude, Submariner is a bad mofo, bro.
Oh, I don't
Namor, yeah.
disagree, but I'm just saying you might be the only one on Earth.
I don't know if that's true, man. I know if you put Namor in front of Aquaman, I know who's walking away from that fight with no cut, and that's gonna be Submariner, bud. He's a bad dude. Anywho, Flash. For me, back in my day when you were still in your father's backbone, Mr. Wade, uh, after Tim Burton's Batman came out, and we we discovered you could actually make a really good hero movie with Batman. There was a short-lived TV show about the Flash, um,
Yes.
and I loved it. I loved that show when I was a kid. So I'm going from that
Yeah,
Flash.
with John Wesley Shipp, I believe.
I don't know. I was trying to Google it, but it
Because
looked like
I'm pretty sure you're talking about that one because the actor who played the Flash, John Wesley Shipp, is in the new Flash series as Jay Garrick.
really.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he also plays Henry Allen.
Can you hear
Uh,
me chewing popcorn? Just saying.
no,
Okay. Where's my microphone?
now I can.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Um, so that was my Flash when I was coming up. I remember when I don't know who's the actor that's playing Flash now.
Uh, Ezra Miller on the movie, Grant Gustin on the TV series.
Okay, when I saw the Whedon's version of Justice League, I couldn't stand that dude. I mean, he was like the most annoying part of the movie to me. Was that guy playing Barry Allen? I
I
was like,
can I can appreciate that. If they had toned down the humor a bit, I think he would have been perfect.
however,
Mhm.
in this one, I liked him, and that just goes to show how a movie can change with character development. You know what I mean?
Yes. Even though I do think that all of Barry Allen's character development was taken away from him in this, I do think he was portrayed better.
Yeah, I liked him in this one. I thought, some of the stuff he said was kind of witty. Like when they're digging Superman up, he's like, "Oh, knock this off the bucket list." That was a well-timed little
I
widespread.
think my favorite was oh, he looks like a nice Jewish boy who drinks his milk.
No, I like my favorite part with him, and I'm glad they gave him the line because anybody else would have been stupid. He's like, "Oh, they just disappear. That's rude." Like, he's the fastest one in the group, but he's the last to leave the roof with Commissioner Gordon. You know what I mean? And it's like, what's up with the Justice League? They didn't clue him in, like they didn't have a pre-Commissioner Gordon briefing where they were like, "Okay, listen, kid, here's what we do to Commissioner Gordon. I've done it for 20 years. If he turns his back, we just disappear, okay?" But like the other guys didn't let Barry Allen know. It's like,
Also,
hey,
another
wait, wait,
good.
wait, 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 wait. Hey, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, come here. Yeah, come here. Hey, I got a good one. After we get all the information for Commissioner Gordon, this is gonna be great. I mean, I know the world's at stake, and we're looking for mother boxes, and there's aliens coming, but we gotta pull this gag. It'll be great. When we disappear, as we usually do, let's not tell the kid. We'll just leave him there. It'll be great. I'm Batman.
I also really liked the when he met Wonder Woman for the first time. Hi Barry, I'm Diana. No, wait, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because who wouldn't be tongue-tied meeting her?
Yeah, and the other was, you think she's into younger chicks? And Homeboy's like, she's 5,000 years old. Or do you think she's into younger guys? She's 5,000 years old. Every guy's younger. What choice does she have? You know?
There were just so Flash had a lot of good moments, even though I don't love how they handled his character development. I like how they handled his static character.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked him a lot better in this version, and I think that it was, it was a good one for him to do this at the end, where it kind of all came down to him to do this, build up enough electricity to turn the box or to get Cyborg into the box, and when he gets shot. And it's way more than he just got the wind knocked out of him, but he still pulls from within himself, knowing what's at stake to look past the wound, look past the pain, and just get the job done. I thought that was a really, really cool sequence. And I think if they would have done that with any other character, it wouldn't have worked. But it worked. Like it worked for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
it
when he
worked.
got shot, I was even like, oh my God. It was, I was on the edge of my saucer chair on that one because I was like, dude, you better shake it off. you know, that box is about to turn into a tetrahedron, which is no good if I understand the plot so far after 17 hours. So,
Yes.
anyway,
Uh,
it's your show. I mean, where are we going,
uh,
Dylan? Come
no,
on,
I mean
steer
we've
this.
we have covered just about everything I wanted to discuss. You
Couple of
can,
things. Couple of things.
yes.
Okay. All right. Lois Lane opens up the drawer and there's a pregnancy test in that bad boy.
So, okay. Do you want to know what that was supposed to be?
Sure.
Because Zack Snyder released his plan, like his 3-movie plan. He's not going to get to do the rest, but the initial plan was there were 2 versions. One that was supposed to be Lois's child with Bruce.
No.
Yes, and then Bruce was going to die, saving the world, and Clark would raise Bruce and Lois's son, and he would grow up to be the next Batman.
That would have been
Um,
dumb.
and then the other version was that's Lois and Clark's child. He still grows up to be the next Batman, though, after Bruce's death in the third Justice League.
Okay. Well, yeah. Glad they didn't do any of that. Glad they didn't do any of that, man. Well, okay, we can go with when Superman finally pops back. I thought his re-entry right before Homeboy Steppenwolf slams Cyborg with the axe. That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. I like that. Not impressed, dude. Not impressed, dude. And then just
Not
blows it.
impressed.
Yeah, he just blows it into ice and beats the living tar out of this guy. Laser eyeballs his horn off. That was cool. I love seeing Superman beat the living crap out of somebody who deserves it because he's an all-American guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times he helps kittens and little old ladies and stuff like that. So to see him just with a controlled focus channel his strength and I don't know, it wasn't really anger. He wasn't really angry. It was just righteous indignation. But I love seeing Superman unleash on some baddie's face, dude. It's just the coolest stuff. It's good visually, and it makes it's like, yeah, so he's beating the snot out of that guy. But
Yeah.
he'll bring cookies to you too. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
A runner-up for my favorite Superman moment, though, was when he blocks the axe with his shoulder
Yeah,
and says, "Not impressed."
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
a good
not
part.
impressed. It was a
Yeah.
good, yeah, not impressed.
But I'm sorry, and I know that like all of the Justice League members had to get a cut of him at the end. Diana cuts his head off. Aquaman can just. I don't even care, dude. I mean, I like that. I liked your entire character when you were Thor. Just go away. Just go away. Thor of the water. It's Thor, right?
Eh,
Long-haired
yeah.
hippie-looking dude on steroids who just drinks a lot. It's Thor. Thor. You know what I mean? He wasn't even Aquaman. He was Thor.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you.
He didn't have. I mean, I think he had like one good line in the movie. Now I don't know who that chick is. That is like his right-hand chick from
Oh,
Atlanta.
Mara.
Yeah,
Mara, yeah.
she needs a movie. She needs like a 17-hour movie.
There are many reasons she probably won't be getting a movie. The actress is in some trouble.
Oh, what'd she do?
She and Johnny Depp are trading lawsuits alleging domestic violence against each other.
Are they married?
They were married.
Johnny Depp was married to her?
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't care about all that. They just need to make a movie with
Yeah,
just that
but
character, like for
it's going to be
17
hard to make a
hours.
movie about her when there's all that controversy around her.
Yeah, but here's how I would write the movie. What's her name?
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. Here, go put your costume on. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, stand here for 17 hours. We're just gonna film you. That's it. That's it. 17 hours.
Easiest $15 million she's ever made.
I mean, might be more than she's gonna get from Depp at this point. Anywho, Aquaman, go away. Just go away. You're Thor. You're cheap Thor. You're Dollar General Thor. Okay? You're the great value of superheroes, bruh. Okay? Just saying. He had no good lines in the movie. Whatever.
My favorite scene with him was actually taken out. I really liked the scene where he sat on the lasso of truth in the original Justice League and was accidentally confessing to all of these things like, I'm scared. I don't know if we're going to make it. I'm terrified.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
It was my favorite scene of his, and they took it out because Snyder didn't film it.
I mean, I'm not even lying. Somebody put in Aquaman for me to watch, like the movie Aquaman. That is probably, I'm not even lying to you, that is probably the only superhero movie in my entire life that about halfway through, I turned it off and said, I don't ever have to finish this movie. I never have to finish this movie. But that's just me. Okay.
I've never watched it, and I have no interest.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Really do.
Yeah, I have no interest in it. I like Jason Momoa. I like his portrayal of Aquaman, but I have no interest in an Aquaman movie.
Yeah, don't waste your time. It was like The Little Mermaid with fights. Yeah, Little Mermaid.
Except I'd actually be excited to see a live action Little Mermaid movie. I think that could be fun.
Oh, they haven't done that yet, have they?
No, they're doing it though. It is in production.
Little Mermaid is what made me into a man when I was a kid. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and well, never mind. I better not say that. This is a family show.
No.
Not really. Anyway,
bad.
One thing I didn't like though, I didn't like in the end sequence how all of the heroes were defying the laws of gravity and physics like a Final Fantasy movie. Like it came off like Final Fantasy Advent Children. Which in Final Fantasy Advent Children, great. Cloud Strife can jump 20 feet up in the air, pause midair, strike you with his Buster Sword 72 times, and then fall down like nothing happened. That's great because it's more anime based and I get it. But in a superhero movie, they need to have some gravity to them. And that last action sequence, it's like there was no laws of physics. They could just, I want to magically just be over there right now and slice this cockroach flying thing. And I just want to magically, zip over here and do, you know what I mean? There was no physics to it. Mm-hmm. There was no weight to it. And I understand we're dealing with extraordinary stuff and superheroes. It's all far-fetched, but Avengers pulls it off. Like, when Spider-Man falls, there's gravity. When Iron Man hits something when he's flying, it affects his flight path. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But to me, that was just a little annoying. It's like, oh, this is cool. And, Final Fantasy VII did it. And I was saying,
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah. I'm playing through the remake right now, dude. Oh, my God.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core is still one of the best games I've ever played.
Is that the one where you play as Vincent?
I don't know. That's the one where you play as Cloud.
Oh, I haven't played that one. I've played whatever it was where you played. There was a first-person shooter. You played as Vincent, but anyway.
It was a Sephiroth backstory.
Oh, okay. That's the one with Zack in it.
Yeah, the one with Zack.
Like Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is the review we're supposed to be doing.
Yes, good tie-in.
Oh, no.
That was totally planned.
No, wasn't.
No.
I'm just that good.
I was trying to keep the illusion.
Gotcha. All right, so so you had the end sequence, and then you had the whole dark side looking at the Justice League and them not saying anything, them just kind of like bobbing their heads, like, "Come on, punk, come down to earth, dog. You see us? You see our suits? Look at our suits, dude. I'm wearing all black, dude.
Our suits are cool.
Our suits are tailored."
Our
And
suits are way cooler than your suits.
our suits are cooler than your suits, than Steppenwolf suits, and even this little Jewish kid who's broke as all get out managed to find material that is also put on space shuttles from NASA. He managed to scrounge up that material to make his Flash suit, dude.
Yeah,
So that's how awesome
we
our
are
suits are.
so awesome. You have no idea how awesome we are.
We are so. Just look at us standing here in a profile. Look at us. Just
Yeah,
look at us.
nothing is cooler than what we're doing right now.
What we're doing right now is we're standing shoulder to shoulder to show you that we have camaraderie and that we stand here on this planet and we know that last time you came to Earth, it took armies and armies and armies of super metahumans, but it's just like us six. And we're cool and we got suits and we can see you through this portal and we just cut your dude's horn off. We got your
Yeah,
boxes, dude. We got your boxes.
we got your boxes. We got your dude killed. You got nothing on us.
You
Come
got
on.
nothing. Yeah,
It
nothing.
took an army to stop you last time. We got 6 now. We're gonna
Yeah.
beat you with 6.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's all like, I'm an
Shove.
Amazonian. I got swords and shields and lassos. And Cyborg's like, I'm Skynet, right?
Yeah.
I'm a varsity
And
football Skynet. And Flash is all like, I'm so super duper fast. Like anything you do, I can go back in time and change it. And Aquaman's
and
all like,
And Batman's all
wait,
like,
wait, 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 wait.
go ahead.
Aquaman's all, I talk to fish and I have a trident and I say things like my man in this movie. And Batman's all like,
I'm a dude. I'm rich. I got gadgets and I punch things really hard.
and my parents are dead. Is your name Martha?
And then Superman's all like, I'm God.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm to the side. What's up, Dark Side? Hey.
What's up, Darkseid? I'm gonna break your whole arm with my pinky. Cool.
Yeah, is that cool? Hey, Dark Side, that
Here's
crown
some
you got.
cookies.
Yeah, the crown you got's a little too big for your head, man. It's around your chin, dude. It's around your chin because if we take that thing off, your chin actually looks like Thanos.
Yeah, you got a butt chin too, bud.
Does your chin look like a scrotum, Dark Side? Yeah. Huh. How about you go to Titan? Huh? Yeah. You want a real fight? Why don't you go punk out Thanos, man? You can't. You know why?
Are you gonna snap
Yeah.
your fingers too?
Yeah. What you gonna do, dude? Huh? You gonna clack these boxes together? We got your boxes, Darkseid. Get your boxes. By the way, we love your symbol, which is Omega, which comes from Earth, dude. But look at us. Look at us.
And I'm not nearly as scared of you as I am of the lady with the hood named Granny Goodness.
Huh?
That's literally her name. The woman off to the side next to Darkseid is one of the old gods named Granny Goodness.
That was a chick.
That was a chick.
Oh, dude, I thought it was supposed to be like that.
Well,
Oh.
there was the other dude, the one who Steppenwolf was talking to.
Oh.
And then there's the chick, Granny Goodness. Literally her name.
Oh, I think honorable mention goes to Jeremy Irons. I love him as Alfred.
Jeremy Irons is a legend.
Jeremy Irons is awesome, and I just like Jeremy Irons no matter what.
Oh, okay. One more thing we should talk about really quickly, because I do have to leave in a few minutes.
What? Go ahead.
Martian Manhunter.
He can go suck balls.
I know, but I like him. He's my favorite comic book character. He did nothing in this movie. He had no purpose, and it was still really cool seeing him.
I don't even know what his powers are. I just know he's got a stupid name, and I don't care.
He's a shapeshifter. He can grow and shrink. He can fly, shoot eye lasers. His weakness is fire, and he loves Oreos.
Oh, okay. Vision.
No, that's Cyborg.
Whatever. So I guess we should wrap it up with obviously what I really want to touch upon, which is Jared Leto's Joker. Dude.
Yes, completely useless scene. Great scene though.
Completely useless scene.
Fantastic.
But it was fantastic. I mean, and I know that Zack Snyder had said previously this was a more road-weary Joker. And, I didn't really mind all the tattoos and the grill and Suicide Squad. That didn't bother me one bit. I thought the look was fine. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
And I don't really need an explanation for how the tattoos are gone now. I guess maybe it's just a different sliver of the multiverse. But the way that Jared Leto did it was like, okay, it was cool. He didn't like try to erase his performance from Suicide Squad. What he did was he took that performance and extrapolated out what the Joker would be like under the conditions that that scene took place in. And it worked. Like, I believed that is the Suicide Squad Joker who
Yeah.
has seen an apocalypse. You know,
I think it's really funny that Joker is here and Lois is dead, considering the last time those characters interacted was in the Injustice comics when he killed Lois and caused Superman to cause the apocalypse.
right? Yeah, and I didn't read those, but I do recall like Superman snaps and rips Joker's heart out, and that's kind of what
Yeah,
causes him to go south.
yeah, great game. It's a comic series and a video game.
Okay, but no,
Great.
even whenever everybody was taking a smashing Jared Leto for his, I was like, I've always liked Jared Leto's Joker, and most of his performance was on the cutting room floor. When has Jared Leto ever given a bad performance?
Yeah, no,
If you
Jared
if you
Leto
see
cannot give a bad
Yeah,
performance.
if you see Jared Leto with a bad performance, that's a director and an editor's fault. What
Yeah,
Jared Leto, dude? But
yes,
I thought, and I had told you, I think about a year or so ago, I said, mark my words, there will be an opportunity for Jared Leto to redeem his Joker in the eyes of other people. And from what I can gather from the internet, he did.
yes, he did.
It's great.
Yes,
And
he did. It,
the
it was
whole
good. It was very good.
the whole idea of him having a truce with Batman, you know, and Batman's response, go ahead. When Batman said what he said to him, when I kill you, and make no mistake, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I was like, did he just say that? That's awesome.
Yes, he did, and yes, awesome. That's the right word. It
It,
was awesome.
it was pretty epic, so, but I mean, it was a cool, I wish they would have just ended it right there without the Martian Manhunter thing and him waking up from a dream. It would have been cool just to end it there. But I mean, honestly, dude, i- if I had not, I mean, I'm just being honest, and I'm glad I watched the movie. It was a good movie, much better than Joss Whedon's version. Much better for a
Hmm.
DC movie and for it to be a generic Avengers, in my opinion. It was a good watch. Um, but where was I going with that?
I
Man,
don't know.
it's a good
Terrible
movie.
podcast
It was a good
host.
movie, but yeah, they should have ended it with the Joker, that scene, and I would have been very, very happy.
I wanted you to watch it solely for the Man of Steel scene. The Superman scene with him flying and looking over the planet. So you liking that means my mission was accomplished.
Oh yeah, it was worth sitting there watching the whole movie just for that visual. Just for that
Yeah.
visual with the music, because that's a symbol that we all need, is
Hmm.
the hope of redemption, hope of you know
Yes.
something outside of ourselves to aspire to,
Hmm.
you know, as best we can. So yeah, anytime there's that type of iconography in a film or whatever, I always it just perks me up. I love it. You know.
Yeah. No, it's great.
But other than
Uh,
that, I mean, we should come up with like a system, like 5 stars or thumbs up or something. But you know,
uh, I give this movie a thumbs up.
I don't want to do thumbs up though, because everybody does thumbs up.
Okay. How about out of 5?
I don't want to do that either, because people do that too.
Out of 7?
How about we say, I don't know, popcorn bucket, kernels half full, full with butter.
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your score, man?
1 full popcorn bucket.
Okay, I'll give it a full popcorn bucket with no butter or salt.
Yes, no butter or salt with mine either.
No
Very,
butter.
very enjoyable, but still, in my opinion, still very flawed.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment.
All right, that will conclude this addendum to our Zack Snyder Justice League review. Thank you all for listening. You can find Daniel at Zen in the Car on YouTube, at zeninthecar.com. And you can find my live show Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ochelli.com.
Later, Tater.
Later.
Clear.
Clear.
That's
All
pretty
right.
good. getting spoiled whenever I'm sitting there in front of a Keurig tapping my foot like 60 seconds is too long for coffee.
I know. First world problems, right?
No, man. Like, ah, this,
Ah.
this is so primitive. Coffee's only 60 seconds. Hulk man.
Hulk smash!
Hulk smash Keurig.
Fucking Keurig!
Fucking